Hello and welcome to the channel. Today we have the Jackson JS34Q. The reason why I'm showing this guitar is because I believe that this is probably one of the best bang for your buck guitars you can get for a beginner. There's quite a few reasons behind that. We're going to go into depth talking about it, and I'm going to go over some of the features so that this way it can help you make a good, informed decision. Let's get into it, shall we? One of the first things that you're probably going to notice is the finish on this guitar is a very nice blue. And if you see that grain pattern right there, that's what we call quilt. So this is obviously a maple top, kind of. I think this is honestly a veneer. For the price point, it'd be ridiculous to actually use a real figured top. You'll also notice that the guitar has a really nice maple fretboard. And I think it's a nice contrast in between the blue quilt and the black headstock. Maple is a tone wood, so there is a difference between the fingerboards that are made of maple versus the ones made of rosewood or the ebony. They do sound different. I noticed that a lot of heavy metal guys, they prefer like the ebony, and then those who like just rock or blues, they either prefer rosewood or maple. So this guitar, I'm believing that the maple actually contributes to a little bit of a bluesy tone. It's not a Fender Stratocaster, but when you do put the pickup selector switch towards the front and you roll down the tone a bit, it does get kind of nasally, which is good. That's what you want for blues. Moving along, the next item on our list is the pickups. Now, with these pickups, they're Jackson pickups. They're not Duncan designed, which is the lower end, economically speaking. These are more along the lines of probably some cheap pickups that they picked up off of another cheap guitar and kind of just slapped their name on them. They don't sound bad for what they are. They just don't really have a whole lot of low-end grunt. You know, the bass, the growl that you need when you're playing like heavy metal or you're djenting or anytime you're palm muting riffs. They're kind of thin and in the middle. They're not bad. It's great value considering the price point of this guitar. It's not something that you would go on tour with. This is something that, you know, you can practice with. You can do little live shows like at your church or in the garage or something. They're not really meant for anything like serious heavy duty. But all in all, they're not bad. The single coils, the two first ones, they're all right. They don't really seem like they push a whole lot of volume. The humbucker isn't too bad. It's just, like I said, the whole setup here, it lacks low-end grunt, but it's okay because for a beginner's guitar, this is going to get the job done with no problems. All right, so next up is the tremolo or whammy bar or dive bar, whatever you want to call it. It changes the pitch of the notes that you're playing or the chord. Overall, it's just a very fun piece of equipment to have on a guitar. You can make all kinds of really cool noises. This particular tremolo is what should be called a Floyd Rose. Floyd Rose invented a double locking tremolo to solve the problem of the guitar going out of tune whenever you pitch using the tremolo. So Floyd Roses, they're designed so that once you have the strings in tune, you lock it down and you use little screws towards the rear of the saddle. This is what adjusts the actual tune. And these are great. This one right here says Jackson by Floyd Rose. Let's cut to the chase here. More than likely, this is a Floyd Rose special. Floyd Rose has a tremolo that's called the Special. It's more economical. It's made with different parts or materials for those parts. I'm not a fan. The Special it gets the job done, but there's a few things that you'll notice whenever you're trying to tune it that kind of just tells you, hey, you know what? This thing wasn't made with the greatest of materials. Again, it's built to be not a beginner's guitar, but a good, inexpensive guitar. Now, on some of my other guitars, I have different versions of the Floyd Rose. On my ESPs and one of my Jacksons, I have a Floyd Rose original, that's the mainstay, the flagship tremolo that Floyd Rose makes. And you can notice the difference just in the tuning screws alone. There's definitely a quality difference between the two materials. I also have a Schecter and another Jackson that have the Floyd Rose 1000 tremolo. And those aren't too bad. They're supposed to be in the middle of the special and the original. It's not a bad tremolo. The 1000 is an upgrade from the special. But overall, if you ever buy a guitar and you want to add a tremolo and you're going to do a Floyd Rose, I highly suggest you go with the original. In the meantime, once again, this does work. It does stay in tune. It's just the feel of it. Whenever you're adjusting the fine tuning screws, you kind of feel that it's not exactly a high quality, high cost material. But once again, it gets the job done and you can have a lot of fun with this thing. Now, one of the reasons why I recommend this guitar to beginners, and I'm sure that there's going to be some guitar players who are not going to agree with me on this, is because of the Floyd Rose or the Jackson by Floyd Rose, whatever you want to call it. At the end of the day, you show that to somebody, they're going to say that's a Floyd Rose. Now, the reason why is because these things are difficult to change the strings on. They're not like regular guitars where you thread the string through a saddle and then you loop it around the tuning peg and then you go ahead and just put it in tune. These are a little different. You have to cut off what's called the ball end of the string, and you kind of have to clamp it down in the saddle on the tremolo itself. But the thing is, if you can change the strings on a Floyd Rose tremolo, you can change the strings on damn near anything. And that's why I recommend it. Because this way, if you buy this guitar as a beginner and you learn how to change the strings properly and make sure that it stays in tune, you can change the strings on any guitar. And that's why I recommend it. You might as well go ahead and challenge yourself a little bit on your equipment, so that this way you can go ahead and handle anything that your musical journey throws at you. All right, so we've covered the main parts of this guitar that I think are the features that add value to it. Now let's go over the price. Now, you've heard me say in the video that this is a low budget guitar, and that is very true. You can score one of these used on Reverb for anywhere in between $220 all the way up to $450. I purchased this blue guitar for $350 from Guitar Center many years ago. I gave it to a guy in my church. He said that he wanted to learn how to play guitar, so I figured let me give him my guitar that I'm not really using. It's cheap, so it's not like a huge loss. I didn't give him like a PRS Custom 24 or something. But let's go over some things real quick. When I say value for money, I'm not referring to those guys asking $450 to $500 for this guitar. I think honestly, anywhere in between $300 to $350 is a very reasonable range, provided that the guitar is in good condition. One of the things you need to watch out for is whenever you buy something that's cheaper than it should be, you might want to take a good look at it, make sure that it doesn't have any cracks in it. It's okay if it has cracks in the finish, like as far as the clear coat that goes on the stain, that can have cracks. But when the wood is cracked, or let's say, for example, looking at the headstock area, you see cracks, that's a no-go. You're not trying to learn how to reinvent the guitar, you're trying to learn how to play it. So whenever you come across one of these, if you're going to shop on Reverb, I've bought a lot of stuff on Reverb. I've had no issues. Just make sure you look at the condition of the guitar. If it says fair, you really need to take a really good close look at it just to make sure that it's still playable. Now, you see it going for $450 to $500. I'm not trying to rain on this guy's parade here on Reverb, trying to sell it for that much, but please don't pay that. On this kind of guitar, $350 is probably the best price for a brand new one, or one that's in absolutely excellent condition. For $450 to $500, you can get yourself something that's got better materials. You can get yourself an Epiphone Les Paul. That's a really good guitar. I have an Epiphone Les Paul. I believe it's a 94, and I've had it ever since 2011. It's a great guitar. Plays well, feels good, looks great. But when it comes to the price point, please do not pay more than $350 for these things. They're not worth more than $350. You do get a lot of stuff for your money, but if you're paying $400, $450, $500, there are other guitars out there that you can get that are made with better materials for the same price. So those are some of the features and points on this guitar, the Jackson JS34Q. I hope you enjoyed the video. I cannot get my Headrush Prime to work with my laptop, and my Positive Griv Spark sounds like crap, so I wasn't able to record a audio channel of me playing the guitar in the background so you could hear it. Unfortunately, I haven't figured out exactly what's going on with my stuff here, but once I get it fixed, the next video will have the guitar playing in the background. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you learned anything or you just enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. It really does help. I know every channel tells you this, but if you want more content, I need subscribers and I need likes. Otherwise, I got to go back to work, and that's not fun. I will see you guys in the next episode, and I hope you have a great day, and thank you for joining us.